My name is Hiroshi Yoshioka. I am basically a philosopher teaching at Aesthetics and Art Theory at Kyoto University. But I have been involved sometimes with organizing the exhibitions, not only media art exhibitions, but also a kind of general contemporary art and traditional art exhibitions, like the biggest one of which is what I did in Kyoto in 2003, Kyoto Biennale. And I have also been involved sometimes with a publication project, but not in a normal way of publication, but also with the special the occasion when I got involved in this chance with work with a group of local people living in the city of Yamaguchi, for example. And we took the whole year for discussing what kind of book will be we are going to publish and things like that. So as a result, we finally published a book on Yamaguchi from a totally different view, totally different from the normal books on some local city, local culture in Japan from the standpoint of some the major media focusing on tourism or history or some all those things. So my concept is to get involved in this group of local people and make them speak really, directly and directed to the world, because I put some English pages included in the book. It is, I think, quite unusual because many times the local culture is introduced to outside to Japan by means of kind of editing and organizing the structure only from this the major media. What I should say, it's the major magazines and TV, television, and things like that. So that's a kind of alternative project about making a book with people. Yes.
And do you find similarities in your approach to making people speak, if I may call it so,
yes,
to maybe tendencies that the internet and the
yes,
DIY cultures and maybe social networks might enable a
yes,
self-narration of your own representation?
Right, right, yes. I think the internet is really an amazing structure now we have, so it has worked a very interesting way. But at the same time, I think the internet is still not accessible for many people who are living in the local cities, because they are kind of conditioned through their everyday life, through television and education and family life as well, to assimilate themselves in a way already formatted in a kind of limited way to express their culture. So they have their own representations, but it is not easy for them to speak out about it, because it is so hard even for the people in the local cities outside of the Tokyo area to have a distinct image of themselves, which could be different in an interesting way, different from the major representation of the local culture in Japan. Yes.
And of course, I'm now interested, how do you see that in relation to the artists, other artists, especially now that there's the Western European market and its modes of representing stars and artworks? Is the artist more on the researcher, self-representational side, or is there also some kind of socialization process of the artists themselves, which makes them sort of repeat cultural structures that are probably not representing their urges, desires, and real cultures?
Yeah. I think arts, the Japanese arts, not only contemporary art as well as media art and some, maybe some artifacts about which we didn't have enough terminology. We are not still sure to call themselves art or not. But all these stuffs, kind of arts, media, and maybe there's some artistic tendency in contemporary society in Japan, is now quite well known, famous all over the world. But still, I think they are very limited part of them are actually reported outside Japan, because still there are a lot of unknown, very interesting development and understanding about the issue of art and culture. We can find the normal people, not only in critiques and artists, but in the perception of the normal people. Understanding of the normal people have a very strong potential to create some alternative image of our culture and of our society. So, but it takes time. I mean, this is the point. It takes time. I took the whole year. I commuted to this city of Yamaguchi twice or three times every month and things like that. So it's quite unusual experience for me, and I'm very grateful for the organization who hosted this project to give me a chance to do things like this. But anyway, it takes time. So in contemporary societies, many people are too fast to do things too fast. And if you have if you feature the culture of some local city, they have to, normal publishers have to do it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But it's not impossible. They will end up with some kind of stereotypical image of that, and a kind of repetition. It's always the same story about a particular cultural topic, you know. So that's, yeah.
But I mean, the strategy, if I read it properly, would then be to use modes of attention and its media and its pre-structuring, and use it and feed it with processes of research, of other ways of experience, and just kind of repeating or quick analysis, etc. Maybe this symposium could be one way, although it's only 4 days, but it's totally different to what we thought before we came.
Yeah, I appreciate very much for organizing this symposium like this, Coded Cultures. I think it's quite unusual to invite people from many different, not only from other cultures, but also from different backgrounds and areas, and different generations as well.